Hello, everyone, and welcome to the new season of the Purposeful Life Show with your host, Adrian Starks. I'm excited to share some new updates of the show with you, starting with a new look, sound, and energy, as well as a variety of guests coming aboard with intriguing topics of conversation. I hope you enjoy the new level of energy that will be brought to the show. Thank you for all of your support since the very beginning in 2019. Wow, it's been 3 years already? Because of you, the Purposeful Life Show is now in the top 5% of all podcasts globally, and we aim to get it into the top 1%. Continue listening to the show and share it with others. You can also now listen to the show on my Facebook page at Adrian Starks, where you can comment in real time and communicate with me about your aha moments. Thank you again for all of your support, and let's make this one hell of a year and be purposeful about doing that. Wishing you all much love and success. Have you been on a corporate job for the past 10, 20, 30 years, and you're tired, you're frustrated, you feel stuck, and you want out? Do you feel like you're not being seen as a person that's valuable, and you want to go somewhere or to do something that brings you value? Maybe you're tired of just seeing the same people, getting the same paycheck, having the same vacations. Maybe you want to take your own trips, create your own lifestyle, spend more time with the people you love, and do the things you actually love doing because you spend too much of your time in this corporate world. Well, today's episode is about how to leave that corporate job and to do what you love and to do it well. Hi, my name is Adrian Starks, and welcome to the Purposeful Life Show on the Champion Up Podcast. This podcast is for the courageous creators wanting to create a life of meaning, adventure, and fulfillment, all while helping to make the world a better place. I'm happy you're here, and if you're new to our show, make sure to give us that 5-star rating and subscribe so you don't miss out on future episodes. Also, connect with us on Facebook and Instagram at Champion Up. It is always that one idea that could be your breakthrough. It's time to step into your courage and believe the champion in you. Hi, welcome to the Champion Up Podcast, the Purposeful Life Show. My name is Adrian Starks, and I'm your host, and I'm so excited to have you here. But before we get started today, make sure to subscribe to the show and give us that 5-star rating so that you don't miss out on the amazing, powerful content coming to you weekly. Because remember, it's that one idea that can actually be your breakthrough. And I want you to go ahead and go to the Champion Up store, actually championup.net. Go online, and the Champion Up Tiger t-shirts are there, but it's a limited edition and they are going fast. So make sure you get your shirt, wear it with courage as you listen to this show. Today's show is very special. It's about the clarity of success. Now, I know a lot of you right now may be thinking that you know what success is and you know what it's all about and you know how it feels. A lot of us don't, and this is where it gets really blurry. So we have a very special guest that's going to come on today, and he is going to talk to us about the clarity of success, and I'm excited to share this information with you. And his name is Michael Tranmer, and Michael helps launch new online coaches so that they can leave their corporate jobs and powerfully serve their people on a higher level. Michael's greatest leadership strength is the ability to engineer clarity for his clients. Michael mastered this skill over a successful engineering career, leading multiple disciplinary project teams on a multi-million-dollar projects. His transition into the thought leader industry came after reaching a low point in his life, followed by a powerful transformation. We want to welcome Michael to the show. Michael, can you say hello to our audience?
I sure can. It's an honor to be here, Adrian, and stoked to get to know you and your audience a bit better as well.
Oh, we're stoked to have you on the show too today, Michael, because this show is all about courageous creators. And I really was just blown away by your bio and more importantly about what you've been doing out here in the world of business for a lot of people wanting to walk into the world of entrepreneurship and to do things that fulfill them, that help them create their own lives. And you have been really on this wave of helping people across the world. And I'm just truly inspired by you. And I want, if you can, to just share a little bit with our audience about what you do.
What I do is generate courage in myself and in the others that I work with for the most part, because it takes a lot of courage to do what I did. And it's what I also help people do as well. So, what did I do? I really stepped away from a very successful, very comfortable career earning six figures as an engineer. because I never loved it, right? It was never my jam. It was never my jam. And I was so fortunate to go through what I did, which sort of turned me around in a washing machine and rinsed me out and shake me all about. And then out the other side, I really found something that I was passionate about and that I really loved doing. So I'm so grateful for my low point that got me there. And what that is, it's the coaching, it's the speaking and the writing. So a big switch from the engineering world. And so what I help people do is that same sort of thing. I help them, ideally without going through that low point, I help them make that transition, which is usually from the corporate world into starting a coaching business of their own where they can help people on a higher level.
Oh my, I wish I would have known you years ago. Oh, my
Me
goodness.
too. I wish I'd known me 5 or 10 years ago, right?
Yeah, but this is what you're talking about here with courage, about going from something, you just mentioned this, six-figure income. Ladies and gentlemen, six-figure income. But Michael realized there was something more that he wanted to do that was outside of that. Now, that is courage. We think of courage of walking the straight and narrow and running into a building to save someone, and that is courage. But a lot of courage comes from making decisions that are hard to make. And Michael did that. And now he's in this world of helping others transition out of that. So if you're in a position right now and you feel like, hey, this corporate job is not working for me and I really want to do something, but I don't know if I can make the income to do it because I know you're thinking that. I don't know if I have enough time to do it. Michael is going to share with us how that works and how he was able to do it because, hey, he's talking to me right now and he's traveling the world and he's helping people. So obviously he figured something out very well and he's mastered it. And that's why he's such a courageous creator. So Michael, you talked about leaving this corporate job and I get that. I mean, I really understand how that can be when you're working somewhere for a long time and all of a sudden you just make this change. But the work that you're doing now, what inspired you? I mean, what truly inspired you to want to do this kind of work? I mean, you could have been on this job still making six figures, but now you're outside of it helping other people, as we say, exit that environment. What inspired you?
Yeah, I mean, what really inspired me, it came from within, and my low point happened right after my marriage ended very unexpectedly and suddenly, and it was very hard. Absolutely my rock bottom, which looking back now, I'm so grateful for. But digging myself out of that hole and becoming happy again and finding a clear path for myself took a lot of work. And along that journey, I started working with a coach of my own to really get clarity on the goals that I wanted to have in the future and the life I wanted to create for myself now that I had that blank slate, that opportunity to do so. And before that, I'd gone through quite a deep personal inner work and the transformation as well. But then once I started working with a coach and I really got challenged and I saw that how powerful that relationship can be, I was like, holy moly, this is an incredible experience that really accelerated my transformation. And so that's really where the passion about coaching came from. And I saw how great it can be on many different levels. And there's all sorts of different types of coaching and mentoring, but I've lived it, right? And so I know how great it can be for people.
Excellent. And I love the fact that you said you had coaching. So the fact that you are an expert coach in what you do and how you help people, you started by having help. So for the people listening today, you may think that you're at a level where I don't need no help. I'm good. Yeah, you need some help. If you're wanting to make a transition in your life and a change, you need some help and you can't do it alone. And that's one of the things I share with you, Michael, as well, too, is not being able to move to the next level until you get that help. And I like what you said, too, how you dug yourself out of the hole. You went through your divorce and you didn't sit there in self-pity and say, oh, poor me. You were like, man, how can I change this scenario? How can I take control over my life? And that's what it was. So that was your turning point. And was that the point also, Michael, where you just said, enough is enough? I'm tired of getting these kind of results in my life and I want something different?
Yeah, 100%. I was in the same living room. I was here lying on this carpet, lying on the living room floor, and I was looking up at the skylight overhead, and it was November in Vancouver, right? It rains, it's dark, and the pain is raining down on me. And I'm lying here, and this was soon after the separation, and I'm like, I cannot live with myself. But that awareness of that there is an I, and there's a myself, So there's two of me in there, right? And that was
Right.
really the first moment or the first flash of awareness that, okay, I can do some work on myself. And it was in that moment that I had that really clear, that awareness of, something different could come out of this. And it really started with the commitment on the floor that I can dig myself out of this hole. And that's what I did. I started reaching out, and yeah, I need help. I don't know how to get out of here, right? So I read all the books and listened to all the podcasts and reached out to my friends and actually listened to their advice for the first time ever. And then, yeah, after that, it's been nonstop help after that. After I got the coach, and now I'm looking at investing in a whole bunch of other coaches to take me and my business to the next level. And it's always that. It's right. It's where you want to be. You're at A. You want to get to B. What do you need, and who do you need to help you bridge that gap?
Aha. Perfect. I want to go backwards here a little bit. You said that you're standing in the same area where you were crying and where you were on the carpet. And this is transformation. Like, you're in the same room. Like, most people would have just run away. But you're like, I'm going to recreate this whole scenario. And that is so powerful, Michael, because I think that a lot of our listeners today are probably wondering, how can they escape? And this is where a lot of us can get into trouble. It's not escaping, it's how do we deal with our problem head on? And you dealt with yours head on by reading the books, getting the coaches. And you mentioned something very powerful too, of getting clear of A to B, but what's in between. And so I want to talk about the in between. And because you specialize in helping your clients get clear on what they want. So what do you think makes things get murky or unclear for people when they're trying to make A to B? So what do you think happens during that point?
Everything. One of the major challenges with society these days, to be honest with you, is this lack of clarity, which comes from all the freaking distractions that are out there now. And they're just nonstop. They bombard us each and every day, and they clog our mind. If you were to take that voice in your head and speak the words that you were hearing in your head nonstop all day, you would drive yourself nuts, right? You would drive yourself nuts. And this is just all these fears and these delusions that are coming at us from, all these distractions on our phone, on the TV, on the news, everywhere. And this is a real challenge when people are trying to get clear on what they want to do with their life, where they want to go to the next level. And that is why a lot of my content on social media is really about stillness and getting quiet and sitting and meditating and really becoming so powerful at blocking out those distractions. And when you do that, and when you get back to your inner self and you block out the noise and you let the energy come through, then you start having a little bit of clarity. Then you start getting the good ideas. And, after you get the clarity, it's sort of, I like to talk about the 3 C's. I talk about the commitment that I made to myself on this carpet to pick myself up. That's C number 1. That's the commitment. C number 2 is doing the clarity. And for me, I had to get out of this place for a while. I was in another town for a while, but I had to do that. And I had to really peel everything back to get that clarity. So that's C number 2. And then, you'll love this. C number 3 is, once you have the clarity on what you want to do and where you want to go, you need the courage to keep moving on and pursue it.
Oh, I just had a light bulb moment there. Okay. All right. So 3 C's again. The first C was
commitment.
The second C was clarity.
Yep.
And the third C was courage. Commitment, clarity, courage. The 3 C's. Okay. Perfect. All right. I hope you guys write this down, because I'm definitely going to be jotting down these notes here, because the 3 C's are so important for us to know. And I like how you said too about being clear on things and these distractions. So you mentioned, Michael, about blocking the noise so that we can get clear within ourselves. So for our audience today, what is one step they can do, something easy that they can start learning how to block the noise?
Yeah, and I would say, and for me, it really, I never thought I'd say this as a old me, tough ego dude, right? But ever since I've been through this transformation, it's been meditation, but also journaling as well. I really
Okay.
started in my low point. Like the first time I ever journaled was during that time, because what I had to do as an engineer, I had to get all these crazy thoughts out of my head onto paper so I could process them, figure out what happened, so I could do whatever possible to not get in that same situation again. So for the
Okay.
listeners, for me, and this is just me, but it's been so transformational and so helpful to bring meditation and journaling into my life. And when you journal and you write it out by hand, it really slows down thought process. You're forced to slow it down and make sense of these thoughts that are in your mind. So journaling, meditation, absolutely.
Love it. Love it. And this is why Michael is so powerful in what he does. And if you see this gentleman, go to his social media pages. We'll give you the contact information at the very end here. We'll give you all this good stuff. But Michael is just full of energy. He's active. He loves life. And he is just creating this path for these people out here who are wanting some changes and wanting to live life to the fullest with adventure and achievement. And Michael is just doing that. And so he mentioned to us about meditation and journaling. And for those of you who are listening, journaling, don't get it mixed up with diaries. I've heard this quite a bit, like, oh, I don't want to write a diary. I've done that since high school. Journaling is a way for us, as Michael mentioned, to take all those thoughts in our head that's in there and bring them to paper. Because there's this connection that we have when we slow down and we write down what our thoughts are. And so I, Michael, personally love the fact that you brought this up, because I have not been journaling as much as I should be. So you just reminded me today that I need to get back to doing that. With journaling, Michael, do you do this every day, or is it every couple of days, or how do you go about journaling?
I'm pretty flexible. I'm not too rigid on when it happens. It's been a few times a day. I'm like, oh, okay. And, I got a challenge. I'm being challenged. What are these thoughts in my mind? How do I get them out? How can I write them out and see how ridiculous they are? Get them out. And then I'll go back and I'll look at my goals, and I'll look at my dreams, which I have printed out, and I look at twice a day. They're beside my bed. So I'm still going for these goals and these dreams. I'm writing out these challenges that I have over here. I'm still going for these goals and these dreams. I'm writing out how I need to get moving forward and how I'm going to overcome this challenge. This is not easy, my friends. And that's kind of the point. When the people that I help, they have big goals and they have big dreams as well. They're high performers, just like myself. And when someone comes to me and they want to work with me and they say, I wanna hold a retreat and have 100 people there, and I want to be the leader. I am like, yes, you're my people. Do you know how much work that's going to take? That's going to take years of work. And I'm so glad you're up for it, because there's going to be a lot of challenges along the way. But it's just that you just have to keep going. And so with the journaling, I'm not too rigid on it, but it's been pretty frequent lately because I've been dancing through some challenges.
I like that, dancing through some challenges. I love that phrase. I love it. So speaking of dancing through challenges, what do you wish you would have known starting out? Like, is there anything that you would have wished you have known when you first started out in this new journey of yours that would have maybe saved you some time or frustrations?
Yeah, I mean, and it's something that I'm bringing into play a little bit more now. We really got to enjoy the process, and we have to, for me, I have to be more patient. Like, these dreams that I'm talking about, they are not going to happen within a year. So I need to enjoy however many years. I need to enjoy the process. You got to enjoy doing all the little things that are really going to pave your way to where you want to go. And that's tough, that's tough for us who want to hit our goals as soon as possible. But it's just that it's do what you can, what you need to bring joy into each and every day, connect with other people, but have that patience. And I'm really just talking to myself right now. Michael, have a little bit more patience, my man. But yeah, I mean, if when we achieve our goals, if it's been an absolute misery, an absolute grind to get there for a number of years, and you've made other people miserable along the way, it's not worth it. Right? It's got to be more of a joy train to get to where we want to go.
Beautiful. Well said. That hits home to me, because a lot of us will think, or a lot of people in the world think that You have to put your head down, tunnel vision, don't look around to get to where you need to go, to only realize when you're there that, is this it? What's going on? The fact that you're mentioning of enjoying the journey along the way, I love this, Michael, because not too many people say this. You got a lot of coaches, they're great coaches out there, brilliant coaches out there, that they will say, you got to do this, you got to do this, and they just have this linear fashion of how to get somewhere. But for you, Michael, you're saying, we're going to have this focus, yes, but we're also going to allow you a chance to be human, allow you a chance to enjoy this process along the way, because that actually will help your enthusiasm moving forward. And so this is why I truly believe that you're one of the most successful coaches out here in the industry, because you're changing the way coaching is seen. And I love that. And you guys got to see Michael's pages. I mean, he's surfing, he's doing all kind of things around the world, and yet he's helping impact so many lives. How many of you would like to have a life like that? You know, you may be in the job right now you may not enjoy. You may be in a position where you want to move somewhere. Michael's going to be the guy that's going to help you with that transformation, because remember what he said, being on that living room floor, lying down, crying. Now this guy is standing in the living room floor, talking to me on a podcast about how he's changing the world. I think that is quite powerful. And so, Michael, I love what you had to share today. And I have another question for you. What was something that you failed at, or something that failed, that really bothered you?
Something that I failed at that really bothered me. It was, nice. Sort of answered this similar question on another interview yesterday. And I don't like to keep going back to this damn living room floor, but I will go back there, because one of the things that was so challenging for me, and I was having a lot of realizations at this time after this path that I was on completely disappeared very, very quickly. And so this was very powerful for me. I was feeling all these new emotions, really, really powerful, really strong, sad, lonely emotions. And they were really connecting all these new pathways in my brain, which were opening up all these new thoughts and these new realizations. And a few of these realizations that I had that, I guess I failed at was really realizations about parts of my personality from my old me that I did not want to take forward into the new me. And this is really hard for someone to have this realization about themselves. And I'm not sure if we classify that as an exact failure, but really it was a big room for improvement. And when you have that part of your ego just crack, right? It absolutely crack. It's the best thing ever for you, but very, very hard. But to have that realization, to take that look at yourself and go, okay, that is not coming forward with me. I am going to fix that. I am going to learn how to change that. I'm going to learn what I want that to look like in the new me. That is very, feels good to be able to empower yourself and improve yourself and do that tough, deep inner work.
The tough, deep inner work is what's so necessary. And you just hit it right there on the button, Michael, about getting in there. You mentioned too about the not wanting to take the old personality into the new. And that was that struck right there to me. So the listeners, I know it struck you too, but this really struck me, and it's really powerful. And Michael, you recognize also that consistent, disciplined, and focused lifestyles are the only way to make big dreams come true. Wow. So for our listeners, being consistent and toward the goals like Michael mentioned, being disciplined to stick with it when things happen, because they will go not the way you always planned.
100%.
And a focused lifestyle. I mean, I think you mentioned too about enjoying the journey along the way to make big dreams come true. And I'm truly inspired by you, Michael, because you've really touched on a lot of things today that I didn't think about. So let's go back to the 3 C's. I'm going to see if I remember this.
It's a test. It's a test, my man.
It's a test. So the audience is a test for you too. Okay. So The 3 C's. All right. So I know courage was the last one. Clarity was the second one. Why am I forgetting the first one?
Commitment, to pick yourself
Ah,
up. It's really that commitment. I did a post about this today on Instagram. It's for new coaches. It's really that commitment to, okay, I'm not living my best life. I'm not in the best relationship. I'm not really being me. I'm not living my authentic self. So I am committing to do whatever it takes to make that change. Right? And the ego does not want you to change. The ego wants you to keep you safe where you are in your relationship, in your average job, in your average life, doing all the average things. That, my friends, is where the ego wants to keep you. But when you can do it, what I did when I say, I cannot live with myself, that's an I, that's an and myself. So if you picture the myself as the ego, your I has to be a little bit stronger than that. The I is driving the ship. But it starts with that commitment to go, all right, this is not going to be easy. I need to chart a new path. But the path does get a little bit easier. I like to help describe to people when we do these new things and we have these new experiences. If you think of it like you're walking through a forest and you're walking through a path that's been there for a while. You've been doing the same thing. You're going to the same job. You're going to the same grocery store. You're having the same relationship. It's a very average path. It's comfortable. It's okay. You're on it. Mm-hmm. But every now and then you think about busting off to the left and cutting through a fresh patch of grass and finding a new way to go where you want to go. And who knows what you're going to find at the end. And this is challenging. This is challenging to go off the path. But what happens when you do that one day and then you do it the next day and you do it the third day, you start to build a new path. And it's the same as neural connections in our brain. So when you start doing these new steps and you start going this new way, it gets easier and you build and you connect a new path that will help you get to your highest self.
I love that. And Michael, this is such powerful information. I want our audience to be able to get in contact with you as soon as possible and to follow you and to learn from you. What is the best way they can reach out to you and also to follow you through social media?
Yeah, I spend most of my time on Instagram, and appreciate again, Adrian, the opportunity to get to know your listeners. But I spend perhaps a little bit too much time on Instagram. I use it effectively. I don't let it use me. I use it, and this is what I help the coaches that I work with as well. I help them use it effectively to attract the clients that they want to work with. So I'm on Instagram, Michael.Tranmer, Tranmer. And my website's michaeltranmer.com. That's two best ways to get a hold of me. I'm on Facebook as well.
Perfect. All right, we have come to the point of the show that I am so excited to do. And I know our audience is waiting, saying, when is it going to come up? We have approached the Courageous Creator question. And this is only for the courageous creators on this show, such as Michael. So today we talked about the clarity of things, clarity of life, knowing how to get from A to B and what's in between. And Michael has shared with us so many gems of knowledge that I hope you've taken notes on that you can begin to implement and use right now today in your life. And as he said, the very first C, commitment to doing that. So, Michael, what does success mean to you?
Success means to me, in the simplest form, it's just being stoked to get up every day and do the work that you love. Be working with the people that you love, create the family that you love, be able to have the experiences that you love, and to really transform everyone you contact with each and every day into a better place. And nowhere in there for success for me is the size of a house or the type of a car, or I don't even wear watches. But for me, it's an element of freedom to travel where I want to and eat what I want to and have the experiences that I want to. But I want to do that with people that I love and share that experience. And I want to build a bigger tribe, a bigger community to help people do the same thing. And it's really all comes back to that feeling. It's that feeling when you get up in the morning, like, oh, I'm super stoked I get to be on a podcast with Adrian. And then it's going to be again tonight. It's when I get home later tonight, it's going to be like, oh man, there were some hard points in there today, but I really made a difference, and I gave it my all, and I took those steps towards my goals, and I'm in alignment with what I want to be doing. But it's just that it's that feeling of being alive and being stoked and making a difference. But it's love, right? It's love for the family that I'm going to create, love for the tribe and the people that I work with. It's love each and every day.
I love that, Michael. And you mentioned too the element of freedom to do what you love, to share those experiences with the people that you love. And that is the best definition I've heard of success. I've heard a lot of them. But the element of freedom, think of that, guys, element of freedom to do what you love and to share those experiences with those that you love. How many of you want that? I know I do. I'm still working on it because we all want to have more freedom, right? So, Michael, I want to thank you so much for coming on to our show today, being a courageous creator and taking out time in your busy schedule. Because let me tell you guys, it was hard to get to Michael because Michael's busy and he's traveling and he's working with a lot of people, but he was able to make this show. And I'm so grateful for that. So thank you, Michael.
My absolute pleasure. It's been an honor, and yeah, super stoked for you and all your success that is coming. But you know as well as I do, Adrian, it ain't easy. It takes work. It takes committed work, and not all the days are rosy. But we got to keep moving, right? We got to keep moving on, and let that be. If there's one thing that the listeners take away from this episode is do that. Get that clarity on the life that you want to create, the dreams, the job, the goals, the family. But got to keep moving, right? And it's not easy. Yeah. It's not just clarity, sit back and wait for it. It's clarity and take action. Keep moving.
Ooh. Clarity and take action and keep moving. And there you have it. So guys, today it's about clarity of your lives. What do you want? What do you want to experience? Where do you want to go? Get crystal clear on that. As Michael said here, start doing some meditations to get into your inner self. Start journaling, writing down those thoughts. And don't forget those 3 C's, which are commitment, clarity, and the big C here, courage. Until then, I encourage you all to be those courageous creators in your life. This is the Purposeful Life Show and the Champion Up Podcast with myself, Adrian Starks, and thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed our podcast today, don't forget to give us that 5-star rating and subscribe to the show so you don't miss out on the powerful life-changing content on future episodes. Also, make sure to go to championup.net for even more life-changing content. Until then, I encourage you to be the courageous creator in your life.